It's the first mention of Ukraine we've heard from Vladimir Putin in weeks. The Russian president says he has no plans to annex Ukraine's Crimea region, but he didn't exactly rule out the possibility. Ukraine says about 16,000 Kremlin-directed troops have invaded the country's semi-autonomous region of Crimea. A tense standoff Tuesday between Russian and Ukrainian soldiers at an Air Force base threatened to erupt in the conflict's first bloodshed. In his news conference Tuesday, Putin denied these were his troops, instead claiming they were local forces loyal to Russia. He also said he hopes he doesn't have to send troops into eastern Ukraine, but if he did, he'd have the right to. So, what to make of that? The New Republic's Moscow correspondent Julia Yaffe writes, "That was Putin dancing around and trying, as always, to keep all options open." If you're wondering whether there's a legal basis for the military intervention Putin alluded to, it's murky. The US, Russia, Ukraine, and the UK signed an agreement in 1994 pledging not to use force against Ukraine. Russia says military intervention is necessary to protect Crimea's ethnic Russian population from so-called radical extremists. Western leaders have balked at that notion. During his news conference, Putin pointed out what many in the media already have: the US's perceived credibility problem when it comes to Ukraine. Putin said the US acted in Iraq, Libya, and Afghanistan either by, quote, twisting UN resolutions or acting without one. He also repeated the claim that Yanukovych is the legitimate leader of Ukraine and that the protests that toppled him amounted to a coup. While Congress considers sanctions against Russia, Secretary of State John Kerry arrived in Kiev Tuesday. He recently said all options are on the table. For Newsy, I'm Elizabeth Hagedorn.